Well, I want to welcome you all to this webinar today, where we're going to explore ways that Microsoft 365 Copilot can help nonprofits overcome challenges and transform their operations. For those of you that are attending, and even those that register, we will be sharing a copy of this webinar after the event. So just as way as an introduction, today our speakers are going to be myself. My name is Frank Valdivieso. I'm actually the president and CEO of Griffin Consulting. I've been doing this now for over 30 years now, and I keep telling people that I'm getting younger and younger. So I started when I was 5 years old in this field, and again, have been supporting nonprofits now exclusively through our work with Griffin. And today I'm joined by Jason Price, and Jason has extensive experience as well, over 10 years at Google, definitely working with partners like myself for over 11 years. And here at Griffin, he's helping us really help our clients plan for and adopt Copilot. And another one of Jason's superpowers, though, is that he himself has supported nonprofit organizations as well for over 10 years. Now, before we get into the content, I've got a couple of slides that I'm going to share with you. Background, I promise not to kill you with PowerPoint today, but I just want to go over a couple of things, just introduce ourselves specifically. So at Griffin Consulting, we are focused on helping nonprofits. We've got a nimble and agile team that kind of helps provide you with support. We want to be your trusted advisor as it relates to deploying technology and helping you in terms of leveraging technology to improve the efficiency and effectiveness of your organization. And then last but certainly not least, we want to be able to help you maximize the implementation and utilization of all of the great tools and products that Microsoft has to offer, and also to maximize your utilization of their technology grant. In terms of who we service, again, here's just a snapshot of some of the nonprofits that we service. But what we really love about working with nonprofits is that even though you hear that the world may be on fire, or it seems like the world is on fire, we get the privilege of working with organizations that are really working to make the world a better place for everyone. And that's what I truly love about this space and supporting nonprofits. All right. Couple of notes from the field that I just want to bring you to your attention for those of you, and these are things that we've been working with our clients about. Obviously by now, hopefully all of you have already heard about the grants being discontinued for Business Premium and Office E1 effective July, and you should have already been getting renewals depending upon your renewal dates. And again, you'll be getting those. Again, I also want to emphasize that Microsoft will continue to provide discounts on all of their other products, great discounts to nonprofits. And the other thing that hasn't changed is there's no change to the audio, to the Azure grant. And for those of you that have any questions or need any additional support, please feel free to email us at npsupport@griffin-consulting.com. The other big issue that for those of you that if you haven't already started planning for this is that Windows 10 support is going to end here next month, October 14th. You got a couple of different paths and ways that you can address this. Obviously, the first would be just ensure that the PCs that you already have in your organization, if they're eligible for the free upgrade, go ahead and get those devices upgraded for free. Obviously, you can purchase extended security updates, and I'll post a link here in the chat in a moment on where you can find out more information on that. You can also purchase a new PCs for those PCs that you can't upgrade. Please reach out to us. We do resell Microsoft Surface and Lenovo products. And then last but not least, if you haven't used your Azure grant yet, this is actually a great use case for you to leverage your Azure grant to get started with deploying a virtual desktop environment in your organization. And again, if you have any questions about any of these items, please feel free to reach out to us at mpsupport@griffin-consulting.com. All right. And then last but not least, in terms of notes from the field, as a nonprofit, you are eligible for discounted pricing on Copilot. So nonprofits do receive a 15% discount. I've put the prices here. So it's $26.78 per user per month. That's a 1-year commitment that you would pay monthly. And then obviously, if you can pay the annual upfront, that's $306 per user per year. And if you got any questions about Copilot, please email us at copilot@griffin-consulting.com. And my last slide before we get started with the presentation, I turn it over to Jason, is we've got a special offer for those of you today on the call. And this is a Copilot readiness review. And here's where we'll come in and analyze your organization's computing environment. And for those organizations that have already decided that they want to move forward with Copilot, we have another assessment that we can provide you with, which is a security assessment to help you with the planning and implementation of the security safeguards that you'd want to have in place in your organization. And as part of this, for those of you that do take advantage of our assessment, you'll also receive a 6-month subscription to a teams-based learning management system that has tons of content around Copilot and also all the other Microsoft 365 products, some of which that Jason's going to really touch on today. So it's a great offering for those of you that take advantage of our readiness review. All right. So without further delay, I'm going to pass the baton over to Jason Price.
Please,
Jason, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Frank. And I'm sharing now, but I do want to, of course, address any questions that you have. Please feel free to drop them in the Q&A module or here in chat. We're kind of keeping an eye on both of those. I also want to, everybody's on a different place in their journey across the digital landscape. And I'm launching a poll right now to kind of take the pulse. Where do you right now stand, your organization, in its journey with Microsoft Copilot? Go ahead and give us an idea of exactly where you stand. If you're still kind of considering it, exploring it, maybe you've purchased and you're piloting some licenses, you're in the middle of implementation, or you're already on the other side and you're using it to drive your mission forward. Really interested to know exactly where you stand. So please do cast those votes. Thank you. And they're all open and available. I want to kind of focus on what's exactly the user experience here. And in doing so, I want to show you there's a great deal of difference between just going the free and easy route of the free AI tools that are out there and what you can do with Microsoft 365 Copilot. So we're going to actually demonstrate this together. You don't have to just sit there and listen to me. I'm going to encourage you to kind of follow along. So what I'm doing, I'm putting a link to chatgpt.com into the message meeting chat there. I'm going to invite you to kind of follow along. In fact, I'm going to give you a prompt. We're going to take this prompt. We're going to enter it in ChatGPT. We're going to enter it in Copilot, and I'm going to show you what it looks like if you have the licensed version, exactly the difference of the results that you get. There's the prompt right there. Draft an email campaign. We want to engage our donors. We want to use our last quarter's fundraising data to actually provide something specific, feel good, really tug at the heartstrings of our people. So go ahead and go over to ChatGPT and enter that prompt in here. Draft an email campaign and send it off to ChatGPT. And what's it going to say? If you have specific data or figures, I can customize it. The assumption that you have strong donor support. So ChatGPT doesn't really know what I'm up to, what our nonprofit is achieving. And so it gives you this very generic version, right? We're building a brighter future. I mean, it doesn't even talk about our mission. It doesn't name our organization at all. It gives us a lot of placeholders. And honestly, it's probably doing the best job that it can with the little that we gave it. What I'd like to do now is encourage you to try somewhere else. I'd like you to go to this link. If you have a Microsoft 365 account, this is going to open for you. Where's it going to open? Right into Copilot Chat, where you can take that same prompt and you can paste it in here. And let's see what we get. Go ahead and send that off. And right now it's sending that off to the large language model. It's adding in some of your work data, some of mine as well over here. And then it's bringing back something that's much more specific. And this, of course, says, I wasn't able to access the fundraising data file. Because again, it's like the connection is not there between the model and your corporate data. But if you have, then the paid license, Microsoft 365 Copilot, and you enter this in, go ahead and try that. Send that. And now what we get is something much more specific. It'll include all our information. It'll look for last quarter's fundraising data inside my account, surface it up, and then incorporate that then into the product that it delivers. So there's a combination of things going on here. Copilot is a big orchestrator. So it's kind of shuffling things back and forth between all these areas. Your Microsoft 365 account, where that fundraising data and corporate information resides, and then the large language model. And guess where that large language model comes from? Do you see in the upper right corner, try GPT-5? Who is that? That's ChatGPT. That's OpenAI. Why? Because Microsoft has been investing in OpenAI for like 10 years. So whenever OpenAI releases a new GPT model, guess who gets it first? Yep, Microsoft, they get it, and they wrap it with their customizations and their security, and then make it available to everybody inside of Microsoft 365. All right, so now it pulls up key insights from the events tied in, participation in the nonprofit summit, benchmark report. Now it's got something a little bit more crystal clear. Whether you joined us at the walk, guess what? We've been providing over 1,800 nights of housing for families, donors, outreach, and stewardship. Now it's got a call to action that's relevant, ties it all off, right? Because it's all of this information in the account. Here's all of these. Look at this. Click this open. Email, recording, meeting, email, meetings, Word documents, PowerPoint documents, OneNote. Now, what could you do? You could probably go back to ChatGPT and you could upload this information all into here. What happens when you do that with a free account? Well, now, not only is OpenAI training its large language model on your data, that data now becomes public and can be actually exposed out in somebody else running a prompt that relates to fundraising data. It'll pull your stuff as an example. There is little security here, little privacy. So I'm going to ask you, what do you think? How do you think that these compare between the three versions you saw? Joe hit it right on the head. Now Copilot has your organization's financial information. Well, yeah, Copilot has all of it. It always has had it. In fact, now I can reach into it and pull it out and incorporate it, infuse it into the content that we generate. Copilot already has that info, says Leah. If you're using Office 365 and saving your organization's docs to OneDrive, yes, it goes to OneDrive. It goes to SharePoint, it goes to Teams, it goes to your meetings, it goes to your Outlook inbox, it goes to all of those places to pull them forward. You do need the higher license to do this integration. That's what Microsoft 365 Copilot is. And that's different from the base license that you get as part of just your Microsoft 365 license, which gives you Copilot Chat. It just doesn't have that integration. But this is still also protected. Look in the upper right-hand corner. Do you see this green shield? See how when you hover over it, what does it say? Enterprise data protection applies to this chat. Click that. That's going to open up this page out here on Microsoft 365 Learn, and it tells you all the details. This is all part of your arrangement with Microsoft. All of it is protected. All of it is secure. All of it is private. So it isn't leaking your data. It's maintaining it inside of your tenant. It is not using that data to train the large language model. No, it's keeping that inside your tenant. That's what this whole page goes into. You can read it through if you want to at any time. So that's part of the agreement that Microsoft honors with your organization's privacy. It will not leak HIPAA data, as Kurt's worried about. It's going to keep that all together. Any sensitive data that Joe is mentioning, that keeps it all in HIPAA 2.0. Yeah, here it comes. There's a longer... Copilot can access your OneDrive if you have the paid version account. So not this version that's part of Copilot Chat enabled for Microsoft 365 accounts by default, but the paid license. Now you get access to all this stuff. That's where you get it and open it up. So great that you brought that forward. Okay. I also want to, let's come back to our presentation because this is kind of the through line of everything here. So what have we seen? Microsoft 365 Copilot is the winner here. And it allows you to wrap everything with security. It starts and ends with security. Don't get Frank started on this subject. We had the deck all done yesterday. He had to include security in there this morning as an upgrade to that. So it's always a part of everything. Your enterprise grade compliance, all your privacy. Not even my boss can see my prompts and responses back and forth with Copilot. It's all wrapped and protected. And of course, you have Microsoft as the foundation of responsible AI that they infuse into everything that they deliver to their Microsoft 365 customers. So now you get to apply all the things that are important for fairness and inclusiveness and transparency and accountability, the things that we probably hold as values inside our organizations as nonprofits. All that is available. So I don't want to dwell too much on benefits, but I want to get into these examples here. And we're going to show you 3 new ways that Copilot can help with your fundraising by helping you better understand your community and prioritize the top concerns that they have so that you can best reach out to them and pull from them the information that's going to make sense. Create engagement feedback loops, mechanisms that will allow you to constantly tap into the community as a resource for direction, advisement, volunteers, donors, funders, all of that. And of course, from all of that information that we're able to pull together, you want to be able to develop an action plan that can advise you on how to modify your programs for the next 6, 9, 12 months so that they become even more impactful and accomplish more of your mission. So these are the 3 aspects we're going to focus on, and I'm going to invite you to follow along where you can, especially in the Copilot chat interface. We're going to start right now with community sentiment analysis. So this is best for tapping into your community. We're going to take another prompt, and we're going to essentially create from that a mechanism to gather our community's top 3 concerns and generate insights from them, actionable, that will inform us on our program design and our engagement strategies and factor that all into our strategic planning. So sounds great, huh? Let me grab a prompt. I'm going to put this prompt into chat once more. And it's one that has a couple open spots for you to add. It's got these little placeholders, as you can see. And this is a great thing to do to tap into what's going on in the community, we're going to use Copilot chat for this. So come back to the chat interface here, and let's do two things. In the upper right-hand corner, click this Start a New Chat. That's going to kind of refresh everything, clean it up so we got lots of room to work in. And then I want you, if you have tried that Try GPT-5 button, click that too. We're going to turn that on. So now we're at par with whatever OpenAI is running. This is the latest model incorporated. And now put that prompt into this prompt message space and add in your city and state. Newhall, California. And we're going to go ahead and click send. It's going to go out, and it's using the integration that Microsoft has with the Bing search index connected to that LLM, that model. It's going to pull in, as we've asked it, news stories and blog articles and government websites. So we're going to the places where we should be able to see that information being surfaced about what's going on in the community. Here are the top 3 concerns that it brings back to me. Number 1, public safety, gang-related violence. Yeah, there's an issue for me. Yours are going to be, of course, a little bit different because your community is different, obviously. Despite our reputation as a safe city, neighborhoods still have an uptick in shootings. Yeah. Crime rates, it's a C-. Not too hot. Need to increase that, don't we? And you can see after each one of these, there's these little bubbles. Those are the citations that Copilot is providing you. So if you're like, what? No way. 8 arrests, firearms, what's that talking about? Click it. And it will open up that link and present you with the source where it got it. Yup, 8 arrested, large-scale raid. Oh, that doesn't look pretty at all. So you can always trust but verify what Copilot provides to you. Number 2, housing development and population growth. Yeah, for us, that's a big deal. Housing shortage. It's all over the place. Community concerns, increased traffic, overcrowded schools, loss of neighborhood character. Traffic and transportation safety. So it's got all 3 of these for you. And notice what it's provided you as a follow-on. So based on the prompt you've given it and the responses come back, Copilot is suggesting what you may want next. It's kind of trying to predict your need here. Do you want me to create a visual summary, an infographic of these concerns, or prepare a detailed report with recommendations for community action? Those are good suggestions, as are the leading suggestions down here. These are additional prompts that it's suggesting for you that you can use. So there's the infographic, there's the detailed report, here's the local community meetings. Is this the type of thing that you're seeing on your side? And is that valuable to you as you're doing research into your stakeholders in the community? You be the judge. Feel free to drop your comments into chat there. I'm going to ask it to prepare a detailed action report and add in our, oh, you know what? This one can't connect to our corporate data, but I'll just run that. Let's run that and see what it provides. So now, based on the research that's pulled here, now it can create actionable insights, right? Isn't that what we saw in the presentation? It's going to pull those forward so that then, based on data that it's finding here, actual community data, it can now generate an action report. What's inside of this report? An executive summary overviewing the top 3 concerns, background on the growth and challenges of the town, detailed analysis of all 3 of these: current situation, risks, impact, community concerns, trends, and then actionable recommendations for community organizations just like us. And you see there's a link. Download the report here. Yeah, try that. Download the report. Look at that. It comes in as a PDF. Let's open it up. Executive summary, background, concerns and recommendations, watch groups, public lighting, collaboration with schools. Concern number 2, community impact assessments, affordable housing. This is right along lines with our mission. Planning, sustainable building practices and green spaces. This is part of our mission to monitor and mitigate displacement risks, expand public transportation options, pedestrian crossings, traffic calming. This is all really good. Oh, conduct regular community feedback sessions. That's good because our fictitious nonprofit just had one of those. And we want to tap into what our attendees gave us from that as well. So let's go back now. And again, I invite you, is this the type of thing that you're seeing on your side? And is it valuable for you? You know what? You didn't pay anything extra for that. That all came as part of it. But I will show you this. If I go back and let's see, let's go forward. Let's go forward because we got this. We got this going. So we've inputted that and we've seen now it's checked off all these boxes: better understanding, actionable insights, and now strategic planning. Now we want to drill down on keeping those programs going, and we want to use the other additional information on sustainable housing, on sustainability and affordable housing. So we're on the run. And now back to the community again. Now we want to create a feedback mechanism so that we can evaluate and improve on the work that we do with our community, tapping into them. And you may do that through a bunch of different ways: surveys, focus groups, additional like stakeholder interviews. We want to kind of build that out. And for this, obviously, we can't use AI to get somebody walking in the door to meet with a stakeholder, but we can use Copilot to do some data-driven program adjustments, create a survey or a feedback form so we can analyze those responses, see where there's increased community trust and responsiveness, and then from that generate a report and do that on a regular cycle so that we're constantly checking in with our community and making sure we're delivering the services that they need. So I've got some more prompts for you. You're going to do this. Let me grab the first one and I will paste it into chat once again. Come back over here, paste. And so now I'm asking you to add 2 things that are in brackets. One is the program benefit. 3 things. One is your nonprofit. Second is your program benefits. And third is the problems of the community that you just got from your research on the other side. What are those 3 problems? I'm going to come over here to a paid account and I'm going to demonstrate from there. So let's refresh this. Let's plug that in. Here's our prompt. And let's insert our information. Rebuild LA, our program benefits. I told you what they were. For us, it's sustainable and affordable housing programs. And the community problems. What did we see in our thing here? We saw traffic safety. We saw housing development and population growth. That's the big one. I'm going to add that into our prompt here. And now we're going to ask it not only to kind of create this survey with questions that follow on to those that attended our most recent fundraising event or our community focus group. Now we want it to kind of analyze those responses. We're going to set it up so it does that. It won't actually do the analysis, but it's going to give us the questions even better. Send that off. And now it's going to kind of go to work. So create for me a survey. It's going to take a minute to think through that. And I'm going to see here. You got more options, admin at Rensselaer. Turn this into a professional PDF report with charts and visuals. Nice. Create the PowerPoint presentation for the city council meeting. All right. Or prepare both. Do both. See what happens. How can you verify what version of Copilot you have? I'm going to address that before we go any further. So see up at the top, we have this work web toggle. That work toggle will only show up if you have a paid Microsoft 365 Copilot account. That's that $30 a month, give or take, in the license. The web functionality is always exposed to you. You won't even see the toggle, though, if you're up in over here in a non-premium license account. You'll just have the availability to go turn on GPT-5, start new chats, and do all of that. So those are the differences between the two. There's also a consumer version that's out there, which doesn't tie to your Microsoft 365 account, but that stuff is all public domain. So I don't recommend uploading any data into that or using it to kind of build out your stuff. Try using it with this, which at least you know is protected. Okay, let's come back and see what we got. Breakdown of insights relative to this. So I get a couple different sections in what I have. Let's compare to what you have. So first of all, insights from feedback responses, strong interest in affordable housing, curiosity about how housing projects are selected, comments about transparency in construction and funding timelines, and then population growth. Who doesn't have that problem? Desire for data-driven planning. So here are suggested survey questions. To deepen engagement, consider these. Which event did you find most impactful? Did the event increase your understanding of our initiatives? What type of solutions do you think are most needed? How important is sustainability? Would you be interested in participating in community planning or advisory? Hey, now we're starting to recruit. What concerns do you have about population growth in your area? How do you think housing development should respond? What services or infrastructure do you feel are currently lacking? So now this is actually mining ideas from our community so that we can collect that and put it right into our programs. Would you like to receive regular updates or volunteer? Now we're double dipping on our recruitment effort. What topics would you like us to cover in future community events? More ideation. So great action items that come out of that. So let's do some community planning workshops. Publish a roadmap for transparent housing. Nice. Launch a data dashboard so we can show real-time metrics on availability, population trends, infrastructure, expand our outreach. Hey, now they're signing up. Do you want to be part of our newsletter? Good. Let's get our newsletter online and running. Create youth and senior housing tracks. Yes, because I don't want my 17-year-old daughters to live with me forever. Okay, now do you want me to format this in a printable survey or digital form? I can help you draft a follow-up email or presentation for stakeholders. You can see now it's, again, kind of feeding you with additional suggestions. You can go ahead and add it in. I'm going to show you one other factor. Now, if you have a Microsoft 365 Copilot license, you can follow along with me. You can do exactly what I'm about to do. If you don't, you can see how it works. I'm going to go to one of my favorite tools, Microsoft Forms. Why is it one of my favorites? Because A, it's all contained within my tenant. B, I don't have to pay for SurveyMonkey. It's all in there. So I'm going to create a brand new form. And it's going to, who shows up here? Copilot. And it wants to draft. And it's asking me what I want to create, what context, what purpose, who's the intended audience. So if I enter the same prompt in here, and pull out the analysis here. So I do want to suggest action items. No, actually that's, pull that last one part out, but you can send this prompt to Copilot. And what is Copilot going to do? Hey, this is all part of your license. Copilot integrates, of course, with the desktop apps that you know and love, Teams, Word, PowerPoint, Excel. But it also shows up in SharePoint. It shows up in OneDrive. It shows up in Forms. It shows up in the web-based tools that are part of your subscription. And everywhere it does show up, it's going to try and help you with what you may be doing in there. So look at this. Thank you for attending our recent community event. Your feedback helps you. Please share your thoughts. It's already written the preamble. How satisfied were you? It's kind of a 5-star rating here. Multiple choice question. Which aspects of our programs interest you the most? How do you share any thoughts or questions you have? Great, so we can respond right back to you and engage you further. How do you feel population growth is impacting housing? So like multiple choice, multiple answer. It's using a variety of these different methods. So it's already doing it for me. You know what? Tell it, keep it. And now you've got a form that you can go and collect responses. Let me show you what it looks like in a preview, shall we? Click preview. This is exactly what your stakeholders will see when they click the link you send them. Really easy. Let's see. I was very satisfied. I think we need more access to resources and support and eco-friendly building practices. I can enter a question in there. I think population growth is negatively impacting housing. It's a bear. How would you encourage to get more involved? I'd like to volunteer. You see how easy this becomes? And then submit, it goes off and running. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Cool. Then we can incorporate the data that we get into our results and do this. Now this becomes part of our regular improvement cycle. We take all of this, we sit down with our program managers. Guess what we got back from our teams? We need to tamp down on this a little bit and push out in this area a little bit. Oh, and marketing, you got to be at the table here because we've got some great newsletter signups and everything, and I want to improve that. Data-driven decisions. It's good stuff. What are you seeing? Let's come over here back to the me. This is amazing. This is what it means to work smart. Agreed. Teams Premium. Yeah, that's a whole other thing. I'll let Frank speak to that in chat. How can one integrate independent copilots? You have to configure another brand nil set. I don't understand that question, confidential. We'll have to come back to that and answer that with, for you offline. There's the license cost. Thank you, Frank. Copilot didn't help, by the way. That happens sometimes. It doesn't get the right prompt. It doesn't return the best results. No prompt is perfect. So you're always going to get a variety of things. My recommendation to you is when things are not perfect, let it know. Do you see these buttons down below what it provided? One is you can copy the response. You can paste it into an email or a Teams chat message to your program manager. But these are the ones you like. If you like something, let Copilot know, and it'll deliver more of those. And if you don't like something, tell it so, and it'll deliver less of those. This feedback goes back to Microsoft and gets infused. It's a training mechanism. So that's how you can improve things. By the way, these other buttons down here, do you want this to read back to you? Let's say you're multitasking in your office and you need to go find, I don't know, the car keys at the same time you want to read this. Just tell it, read it aloud. You guys are all on mute. Go ahead, press it, see what it does for you. And then next to that, edit in pages. So this takes that prompt response and it creates a dynamic web page directly from that. That's part of, again, this is all still private and everything, but it contains the prompt, the response, all the information is here. You see the references are linked down below. So you can go look them up. And this enables you to, you can modify it all right in here, like get rid of this ugly thing like this. And then, oh great, this is excellent. I want to save it. So I can either immediately open it in Word and download it and get going in there, or there, open Word. And I can share this with my program team right up here in the upper right-hand corner, or you have a link directly here. Share this link allows you to provide people access to this particular page so they can allow people with existing access. I want to share it with everybody inside of Griffin can not just view it, but can edit it. So that allows you to take that link. I could paste this over to Frank. It's not going to work for you guys, but I'll just paste it in here anyway. You can see all powered by Microsoft Loop. Yeah. So that's what's in there. Okay, we've got a third scenario to get through. Let me exit out of this, the close button in the upper right-hand corner. And let's come back to our presentation through line. Third level. Now we want to plan based on that information. We've got our program manager in the room. We've got marketing in the room. We may have 1 or 2 board members in here with us and our staff. So let's develop something tangible, an operational plan supported by our AI assistants, and then push it out into different formats so that we can actually work with that and complete the cycle. All the way from the data we got at the beginning, it was informing us, now here to action. So guess what? I've got another prompt for you. I do. And this is going to go back into chat where you can copy it, you can paste it out, and you can enter it in. There it is. Okay, so I'm coming back over here now to, my chat. Yes, I'm going to start a brand new one. Actually, I'm going to go to this one over here. Back over here to this chat, because this is the paid version. Click start a new chat up in the top. Yes, I know, admin Rensselaer, you're not going to be able to get to it. Only those inside of our tenant, because those links are secure. Another backstop. Thank you, Microsoft. Okay, so now let's paste this prompt in. Based on our mission to, and of course, I want to include, go ahead and paste your mission in. Build affordable, up, and sustainable housing. And the current challenges of traffic safety, rising rents, all of that. And limited things. Yes, I know. I'm not going to upload that. Now you get this, right? Send that. So now it's going to create an action plan over 6 months with key milestones so that, remember that accountability, that's part of responsible AI. We also have it as one of the key values in our organization. And I want to hold everybody accountable, and they want to hold me accountable for the work that I'm doing. That's what keeps us going forward. So now, what do you get back from Copilot? A tailored 6-month action plan, key milestones, drawing on strategic files. You can see here, here's the citations from all of them. PowerPoints, Loop pages, and the web. What's this? nhc.org, Biden White House. Oh, that's an archive, yeah. US ICH, if only. So what do I get? An update. Month 1, let's engage our community. Get this community feedback initiative launched. Use Copilot. Create distributor survey. I'm 1 step ahead of you, by the way, everybody. I already created it, so take a look and give me your feedback. Haha. You see how brilliant this makes you look? And then quantify all that data, capture some qualitative insights, and begin stakeholder mapping now for priority neighborhoods. So this even says, now take what you get back and think about it strategically where you want to go to next. So look at those. That's a great tidbit of advice there. Month 2, data analysis and program design. So out of all that community engagement that we do, analyze survey responses, draft our program goals now in alignment with our community and legislative opportunities if they happen to exist at the city, state, and federal level, and reference any state level funding that happens to be out there. This is a good one, AB 1820, veteran housing eligibility, all that fits with us. Hopefully you can recommend those for you as well. Month 3, policy alignment, funding strategy. So now we align, because we're aligned with our community, we should align with the government agencies that fit those, and we can start integrating, applying, and building partnerships. Boom, boom, boom. Month 4, pilot projects. And it's going to differ for, depending on your mission, you're probably going to get something similar, right? Workforce and vendor mobilization. So finalize all of those with our vendors, create RFPs, train our workforce on these techniques and compliance, ensure diversity and equity in hiring and contracting. Again, one of our values. Public launch and feedback loop. So now, after we get everything out there, now we tout our successes and we re-engage the community once again. Here's the public-facing campaign, run another feedback loop, get more data, validate that we're on the right path strategically, analyze that, and then we can publish a transparent progress report. In the paid version, I get my supporting resources all tied to, like I said, those documents and all. Would you like this plan exported into a presentation, shared by way of an email or loop? I can draft a kickoff announcement or a stakeholder brief. You know what? Just go ahead and export this. And go ahead, tell it export into a presentation or a Word document. Let's see what it does. Let's see what it does in PowerPoint. Go ahead, tell it. You know what? I don't want to copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste. Let's let Copilot do the work. Yeah, Copilot chat may not suggest the MS form. It didn't do it for me either, but I went over there and that's where I entered it in. A Google form template? No. Microsoft form, it's already paid for in your subscription. Why buy Google Forms? Fillable PDF survey, online, all 3 options. Yeah, you could do that. New security measures ultimately redefine what platforms we're allowed to use. That's another policy question, but I will say that you can see everything is right here inside of my tenant, all inside of my applications, be they desktop-based or web-based. They're all contained right here. It's all private. My boss still doesn't know, so when I walk into that meeting, I look like a champ. Boom. All right, it's taken a minute to analyze this and export it. Let's look through some other questions that we have on the Q&A side. Any that stand out, Frank? Yes, the webinar will be shared with you. Does AI take into consideration contractual agreements or obligations from different entities? If you tell it to in the prompt. So make sure you add that. There's 4 essential ingredients to a really good prompt. One is the goal. What do you want? The second is the context. Why do you want it? The third is the source. So tell it where exactly to look. The more specific that you are, the more specific your results will be. If you can tell it the exact meeting, the exact document, the exact folder, then it can do all of that work. And number 4 is the format. What are your expectations? You want it as PowerPoint, you want it as a list, you want it as bullets, you want it as a checklist, whatever it happens to be. And then so in the context of all of that, that's where then you include the contractual agreements and obligations. Make sure you are referencing this agreement, this obligation. What's the possibility for offering Copilot for free to small nonprofits? I wish, imagine how we could change the freaking world with power like that. I'm going to not get on my soapbox though. I'm the admin of a donated M365 account. I understand that we'll be losing features once our contract renews. Ooh, Frank, that's a question for you. Will Teams and OneDrive still be included? Can you lend any information on what will be discontinued?
Yeah, I answered those questions in the Q&A.
Nice. You're so far ahead of me, dude. It looks like Copilot's a little bit behind me. It's still analyzing everything. So I'm going to stop it. And like, hey, sometimes it doesn't do it all. You know what? Rerun it. Export a plan into a presentation in PowerPoint. Try it again. Going back over here to chat. Copilot chat is included in a nonprofit license, but it is not included. The premium version is not. Let's see here. What other questions can we tie off? Tribal organizations. Consider nonprofit. I believe they're either that or government.
Yeah, and I put a link in the chat to where they can go and check their eligibility.
Okay. Thank you, Frank. Okay, great. Looks like Copilot is finishing up over here. So it's created a title slide, 1 slide per month, 6 of them, with my milestones and key actions, and a closing slide with next steps. Let me know if you want a version with visuals, branding, or stakeholder. Dude, it's always thinking ahead. Click it, download it, open it up. And so this should pop it open over here. Yes, yes, it does. So it's all here. And you can see it's very heavy on the text. And you're like, well, this isn't going to do me much good. So here's 2 suggestions that I have for you to kind of clean this up and make it very presentable. Number 1, come over to design and change your slide size so your widescreen. That looks much better. And number 2, click design suggestions. It's over here on the right of the design tab, or you'll find it right next here to the Copilot button on the home tab. So Copilot is right here to continue to advise you as you go forward. Click design suggestions. This, of course, is using another artificial intelligence, another algorithm to give you these suggestions. What looks the best graphically pleasing to you, pick it and run with it. And then you can just work your way down right through the, 10 minutes, you're done. And then you're ready. You look like a pro in that meeting. That's what it's about, being a pro. So here's a good time for us to ask you some more questions. A, what did you think of the results that it gave you? B, I've got another polling question for you. Let's close this one and open up this next one. We'll launch that. So this polling question is actually asking, well, what are the barriers that you're facing? What is preventing you from moving forward in your AI journey? Is it security and compliance, upskilling your staff, understanding capabilities? Hopefully we're providing some more context on that. Budget constraints. We heard that in chat. Integration challenges. Where exactly do you kind of stack up with that? And I'm going to launch another poll in just a minute. Let's go ahead and submit your answers there. And let's come back to this. So what does it look like when you do this right? It does work. This is the results from a pilot we did with 60 users in a healthcare organization in the month of June. So 60 licenses, about 30 a month. They spent about $1,800 to make this happen. And in that month, you can see here, they went bananas. So 60 users, meeting recaps, summary actions, creating documents, analysis in Excel, generating emails, and Copilot chat is where they spent, as you can see, a majority of that activity. Things really do start in Copilot chat and then go down into your other documents where you can polish and finalize them. You total all of that up, nearly 12,000 total actions. For 60 users, that means they're each doing 200 in the month, 50 a week, 10 a day, and most of it starting in Copilot chat. What were the results out of all of that? Well, the program, we generated 98% active usage. They doubled the number of meeting hours they were attending per month. Did they clone themselves and go to 2 meetings? No. What they did was they left their conflicting meetings on their calendar. They would go and attend one, and then they go to the other one after the meeting and use Copilot to summarize and give them the action items and who made what decisions. That's how they did it. They doubled the number of emails they sent. They doubled the number of team chats they sent. Almost $54,000 in Copilot assisted value. And that's based on $72 an hour in salary. So if you compare all of that, $1,800 became $54,000. That's a 3,000% ROI. So if you do it right, it can generate these results. How do you do it right? Well, it starts with the readiness review that Frank mentioned at the beginning. So 45 minutes in Teams, we will assess your technical readiness. We will look for gaps that exist. It could negatively affect your experience. Check out your security, check out your compliance, check out your desktop applications, and then we turn back to you a report. Green, yellow, red indicators, any blockers that are identified, that gets emailed to you, and then we can sit now and plan your Copilot implementation so that you maximize your savings, you get expert support online for it, comprehensive learning, and secure integration with all the tools. And then, like I said, Frank even added in this new 6-month subscription to the learning management system. So you get all of that. That to me is a pretty goddamn good deal. Let me, if I may, add in another poll for all of you to see what's the most likely next step for you. How do you want your organization to move forward now after what you've seen in the presentation? Do you want to get some more? Do you want to evaluate your readiness and identify those gaps? Do you want to talk more with Frank and me? Schedule a meeting? You want to start a pilot program, begin testing if you're not already, or if you want a full implementation? Let us know where you stand. And let us know how, of course, we can help. Frank, I'm going to turn this back to you.
Yep. Thank you, Jason. Appreciate you. I hope everyone found some value and got something of value in today's session. For those of you that attended today, we will be sending out a copy of the recording for you. And we'll also be following up as well to see if anyone wants to get set up for a Copilot readiness review. Again, I want to thank you all for your time today and looking forward to seeing you in future events. Have a great day.
Thank you.